In the final stages of this demonstration, we will now go ahead and try to create a travel request. So please click on Submit on Travel Request. Here we'll be presented with a simple screen where we can put in a very few details about the actual requested travel. Now, although the details are quite simple, the tasks underlying these are quite complicated, but we want to keep this simple for you to put minimal amounts of information in that would enable us to proceed forwards. So first of all, let's put in a description, something that will help us recognize this request and also the people handling it. So we'll put down Steve's big travel to Denmark. So I'm going to go to Denmark and we'll put down the department or client. Now this is quite important. This is the part of the organization at Cyclum or clients who has the financial authority to fund your travel. So in the case of myself, it will be the IT department. And for the approver, just for the purposes of the demo, we will assume it's actually myself. And of course, my contact details. Now, the email address is particularly important. The reason being, we will actually be sending some automated mails to the person in this list. The approver really does need to be the person who has the authority to approve the travel. And so we need to make sure we've got both the name and the email address. So next, let's actually put in some details about the travel. Where we're traveling from, so Ukraine, and the name of the city, Kiev. Traveling to Denmark and Copenhagen. Departure date, we shall select next month, the 24th to 28th, let's say. Now the next section, bank accounts. This is particularly relevant for when we need to pay some money for allowances. So for example, you need some kind of subsistence allowance to support yourself with food and other kinds of things whilst you're traveling. Also, if you're actually getting a visa and you need to go to the embassy by yourself, you will be needing some kind of money to actually pay for the visa fee. So we can organise transfer to your bank account, but we need to first of all understand if you have one and are PE registered at Cyclum. So if so, please click on the tick box. Now, with the travel arrangements, there's a number of services that can be provided. We have both visa, travel tickets, accommodation, allowance and travel insurance. So please select the services that you need. In my case, we'll pretend that I need all of them. And we'll proceed with creating a ticket. So now we have the trip created for myself. We have the same kind of summary screen. We can see a ticket number. We can see who it's been assigned to, who the reporter is, that's the creator of the ticket, which you can see is the test employee. And we've got the created date, the last update, departure date, return date. We also got a description, summary description of the actual ticket and the options that have been selected. Now, we mentioned before about the view workflow, so let's take a look at this. As we can see, arranging travel is much more complicated than handling some of the instant type requests. There's a lot of steps. Now we can see that we are actually created a new ticket, and the next thing that we're waiting on is for the travel approval. So this is like the fundamental travel approval from the client or department head that says, yes, I agree that this person needs to travel. We would then proceed next to cost calculations. So we can prepare some kind of budget for the actual travel, and then we get cost approval. So the costs are either rejected or approved. If they are approved, we'll then go to travel arrangements and start booking everything. And of course there's a negative path should the clients or the department head not agree with the figures or the purpose of the travel. So in the final stage for the user, we need to either select travel approval needed or I have client approval. So we will assume that I have client approval, so I will click on this, and I'm presented with the opportunity to upload a file and provide some comments, which is mandatory to do if I have client approval. So this attach an email which I have here, travel approval, and we'll put in some comments about this. Okay, so there we go, that's enough detail, and I will click on I have client approval, and that's basically it. The form was very simple to fill in. The next step about the travel approval just requires either the travel team to contact your approver on your behalf, or if you have such an email or reference, attach it and it will then be taken to the next stage. That's basically it. This would be the end for the creation of a travel ticket. I will next show you how to view a ticket which is already semi in progress, just so we can get an idea of our positioning on such a ticket. But this brings us to the end of the travel creation ticket. Thank you very much. For the final section of this video, I wanted to show you a ticket which was actually fairly complete. This is a travel request, and if we take a look at the view workflow, we can see that we've been through the main processes here. We've gathered our costs, we've got the approvals, and we're now actually making travel arrangements and paying for things. Now if we scroll down the screen, we can see that originally we had things such as travel insurance, tickets, allowance, visa. We now have subtasks which relate to each one of these. They're all necessary to actually complete the travel request, and we can see the status of them. We can also see who's actually running with them from the departments. Now for example, let's take a look at visas. It too has its own summary screen and also its workflow view. And we can see here that we've been through creating this, we've gathered our documents ready for submission to the embassy, we've collected the money, or the AD department has collected the money on your behalf, and now the visa is currently being processed and we're waiting for the outcome. This is a good advantage of this system, in that instead of just raising a ticket and waiting for its closure, you can actually see where you are and understand in a greater level of detail. Let's go back to the master ticket, and we'll just very quickly take a look at another one, travel tickets, and again the workflow view. And here we can see that we've created a ticket. We had a pre-booking for the flight. Probably it was arranged at the time of preparing the budget, so we were able to settle the bill and get the financials submitted into our systems. Alternatively, we would have been looking for another ticket within the budget range, and if we'd found it, we'd have tickets agreed. Otherwise, we would have been looking for a budget extension, because perhaps nearer the time the prices had inflated. And of course we would need the financial approver to approve such a budget extension, and if that didn't materialize, then we would proceed to closing with the ticket. But here we can see we're in a fairly good position, and we're looking to resolve this ticket. This brings us to the end of the demonstration of the video. For all of the systems associated with the service desk, I hope you will find this system useful for you in the future. I hope it actually brings a good benefit and visibility of where you are, and also provides better efficiency of department services. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I wish you good luck in using our system, and appreciate your feedback, of course. Thank you. Goodbye.